persevere through the good, the bad, only make you stronger.
What's going on, everybody? This is Ken Meeks from the Ken Meeks Show. Today we have icon, legend, comedian, some say model, movie star. I'm gonna keep going now. CoCoa Brown, what's
Hilarious.
going on, CoCoa?
Hilarious. What's up, darling? Oh my gosh.
Up?
I'm trying to figure out who you were talking about.
CoCoa, I like what you got on, man. You
Thank you,
looking
darling.
nice.
Thank you, sugar. Thank you. I clean up well, right?
I love it.
Thank
I love
you.
it.
Thank you.
So look, we keep it real on this show.
All right, bring
so
it.
we're gonna talk about everything.
Okay, bring it.
All right, Newport News,
Okay.
where it all began.
757.
757. You grew up in the house with?
Mom, dad, who celebrated 54 years of marriage, with a younger brother, my brother Kenny, who is married with 2 kids, who is doing amazing things with a track club in Maryland with his 2 girls. My 2 nieces are track phenomenons.
Wow, shout out to them.
Loads of aunts and uncles and my grandparents and cousins. I grew up, surrounded by that.
Right.
Yeah.
So the young CoCoa, when did you realize you was funny? Did you
Honestly,
I know you got in trouble in school.
I got popped in the mouth a lot.
Yeah,
I did, because I would say things, that just wasn't appropriate for my age group at the time.
Right.
But now my mother's like, "Ooh, you're getting paid for this now,"
Right.
But I blame my mother. I tell her all the time I blame her, because my mom was one of those old school mamas, didn't trust nobody. So I was always with her and my aunties.
Right.
So here I am, 7, 8 years old at a big whiz game. So it's not my fault that I heard the things I heard and repeated them. But I didn't realize I was funny until I met the brother who discovered me, a guy named Pop Thomas, at a barbecue in Maryland in like 1996.
Wow.
And so he just, met me at a barbecue, said, "Man, you're funny. I have a comedy club. You should come through open mic." I went, and the rest has been history. But when I told my friends and family that I was going to try stand-up comedy, nobody was shocked except my mother. My mother was the only one, because she said, "I just paid for this degree and you're going to tell jokes." Right. But everybody else that grew up around me, they said, "Oh, I can see that girl, you funny." I'm like, "For real?" Yeah. So I never knew I was funny like that. Right. I was just me.
So you just mentioned the degree. What did you go to school for? I
went to school initially for pre-law. I wanted to be Claire Huxtable. That was my icon. She's still an icon to me, even though she's a fictional character.
Right.
But and then midway through, I decided to change to PR and advertising, because I was told, by one of my professors, I truly had the gift of gab, and I could sell anybody on anything. He said, "You should go into advertising, PR." So I ended up changing my major. Right. And that's what I got my undergrad in. And then during my first few years in LA, I panicked about, what am I doing? Do I really want to do this whole actress thing or whatever? And I went back to school and got my master's in the middle of that.
Got you.
Yeah.
What was the first joke that you ever wrote? Do you still remember?
I do. It was a joke that I wrote about skinny girls and how I don't know what a man finds sexy about a chick whose legs look like parentheses. And I would do this bow-legged walk around stage. I told you, you're the last bow-legged brother on earth. They started making y'all in '83. So that was my very first joke that I got my first big laugh off of. I remember that well.
Okay, so CoCoa Brown on stage was your first opportunity in front of big lights, or was it a small?
It was a small comedy club. It was a comedy club called the Comedy Spot in New Carrollton, Maryland. It's closed now, but back then it was a pretty popular spot. It maybe sat about 100 people, but it was a really hot spot back in the day.
So did you get booed the first time?
I didn't get booed, but they stared at me like I had 3 heads. I'll tell you the story. Right. So my first time on stage was an open mic night, and I thought, because I had watched Def Jam, and this must be easy. It's not, T.I. Love you though, baby, love you. And I went on stage and called myself writing jokes, and the audience was just staring at me, and I only had like 5 minutes. And so in that panic, I just said, "You know what, I don't really need this, because I'm just doing this because I was told I could do this, but for real, I work for the circus." And the crowd busted out laughing, but I really did work for Ringling Brothers. And so when they started laughing, I said, no, I ain't out there taming lions. I ain't no clown or nothing. They're laughing. And that was my first introduction that what's funny is what's real. And when you're trying to be funny, it doesn't come off funny. But when you just are speaking from a very vulnerable place, it's very funny. It can be very funny.
So, I'm not going to bring up Chris Rock, not at all.
No.
But you're right. A lot of times, real funny comedians, they are being 100% real.
Transparent, you know?
So maybe Chris Rock was being real. You don't have to say nothing on that.
No,
but maybe he was being real. You know, I tell a lot of people.
He was being Chris. He was being Chris. You know, and it just didn't mesh at that moment. But he was being who he authentically has been for his entire career.
Right. He just paid for it that night.
Yeah. Right. Don't try to hit me. I am not the one, honey. Okay, I'm just gonna say to the people out there.
Okay, so going back. So
all right.
CoCoa on a big stage. So you realized you was funny.
Yeah.
You made it through that.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Now comes the very big screen, the movies. Mm-hmm. Right?
And it's funny because I do more TV than I do movies.
I know, I see that.
I'm more on TV. I've done a few movies, but I'm more recognized from my various TV appearances.
So your first show that you ever did, tell us about it.
Oh gosh, the first show I ever did was Young and the Restless.
What?
And that was my very first role fresh into LA. And it was so iconic because I grew up with a mother and a grandmother who literally made me sit and watch it and tell them what was going on when they were preparing dinner. So to be on the show was incredible. My mother was like freaking out, telling everybody. But to have my scenes with the iconic Victor Newman, honey, if you ain't thinking about wine, oh honey. So
my grandma loves Victor Newman.
I wish she could have lived to see it, I swear. That was the one thing I wish she could have lived to see it, because that would have just made her
your grandma. Right,
all out day. But my mom got to see it, and she still has it on VHS tape, which is crazy.
Great. So have your mom ever went to any of your shows?
Mm-hmm. And my dad.
And your dad in the front row.
Yeah, freaks me out. It's so funny, my mom and dad used to come whenever I would go to Virginia or close by, my brother would bring them. I would always say, let me know mom and dad in the audience, because I would totally edit myself, because it was just some things I was just not gonna say in front of my parents. And then it got to a point that my dad wanted to go to all my shows, and I am a daddy's girl, God rest his soul, I just lost him in December. And thank you. And I was such a daddy's girl, so it's like, for my dad to see me in that element, I know he was proud of me, but I was freaking out because, all my jokes are, you know. And I remember one time, to this day, I told my brother I was gonna kill him. Right. He brings my dad to a show and didn't tell me. And my dad's sitting in the back. So I'm completely unedited, completely doing me in all of my blue color, okay? And after the show, at the standing ovation, I look out and I see my father.
Wow.
And I said, how long my daddy been here? And the crowd lost it, I said, I'm not CoCoa Brown, this is an imposter, And and my dad came up to me after the show and I was like, oh my God, Daddy, I'm so sorry. He said, baby, you did your thing. And that joke you did about the cheating minister, I like that joke. And I'm like, oh my God. So now, I'm now completely free. And he would come to me to all my shows and I would be free. And he just saw CoCoa Brown. He didn't see his baby girl. He saw CoCoa Brown, but he was proud of me nonetheless.
That's good. That's a good story. Your son.
My world.
Phoenix.
Yes.
Right.
My world.
So when Phoenix came into this world, right, with his father, so were you married?
I was married. Mm-hmm.
You was married. It just didn't work out?
Didn't work out, no.
Okay.
Divorced.
Yeah. Okay. So did you try to make it work?
Of course I did, but it's hard when it's another wife. Moving on. Next question.
Okay. Well, he wasn't married. You can't just go over a question like that. You can't just say he had another wife.
It's coming out in my book, so it doesn't matter, but my ex-husband was a bigamist, yes.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay. Good.
Can we move on?
Okay, moving on.
It's in the book.
Moving on. Okay, moving on from that. Phoenix, growing up, beautiful son.
Yes.
Do you want more kids?
I would love more kids. I wanted 4. I wanted 4, yeah. Got my one, and I was hoping to have some more, but I can't have 2 kids wondering where their daddy at, okay? So So I've just been waiting on the Lord, honey, waiting on the Lord. The egg still work, though. The egg still work. Yes.
Okay. So how is it, because I asked everybody this, right?
What?
How is it going on tours, right? But you have your son. How do you balance that?
You know, when he was a baby, before he started school, he went with me everywhere.
Right.
Like everywhere, he was with me. Now it's summertime, spring breaks, Christmas breaks, he'll go with mom. But now when he goes with me, it's amazing because he has his own line of, I have this CoCoa Brown collection, which is a CBD collection of products, and he has his own sugar scrub for kids that he created during the pandemic with me. And when he's on the road with me, he's got his own little table. Good. And he hustling. Sometimes he make more money than me. So he needs to, learn entrepreneurship, but he also sees mommy work and he sees how she interacts with people. And I always tell him, baby, you're never too big not to be nice to people.
Right.
So I let him see that. So it's a great learning experience for him, I think. But then I love having him with me.
Does he have a name for his line?
Yeah, the Phoenix Collection.
The Phoenix Collection.
The Phoenix Collection, and there's sugar scrubs that are lathering soaps that he made himself, and they smell like bubble gum, peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, kid stuff.
Yeah, kid stuff, and they're a hit. They're a hit, yeah.
I love it, I love it, I love it. So the friends that you grew up with, right, are they still around, or do you still have friends from back in the days, or do you deal with a lot of jealousy that's not with you?
I've been grateful that my ride or dies, that I could ramble off their names right now. Because, Courtney, Vicky, Spencer, Rico, let's see. I'm going down the list. Denise, Rhonda, I can go down the list. Nikki, Big Nikki, Little Nikki, Medium Nikki. Right. Like, these are my ride or dies. They don't even call me Coca. They call me either Farrah or Phoebe. Because that was my nickname growing up, Phoebe. And so those are my ride or dies. Like when I got married, there was only 2 people in my entire wedding party of 7 bridesmaids, 7 groomsmen, 7 hostess, and 7 ushers that had not known me for over 25 years.
Wow.
Like, they're my ride or dies. And it keeps me grounded. When I go home, I'm not CoCoa Brown, I'm Farrah, I'm Phoebe. So it keeps me grounded. So yes, I'm blessed to have friends who are not jealous.
Right, because a lot of people say, I talk to celebrities all the time, and they always say, look, you can't take them with you.
You can't take them with you, but I don't have a crew of people that I grew up with that wanted to go with where I was going.
They just want to support you.
Exactly, we all support each other in all of our different roles.
If more people knew their role.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like, when they say you can't take everybody with you, ain't none of my friends trying to go with me. They had their own lives, their own dreams that they're fulfilling. We all support each other and are each other's biggest cheerleaders. We all just have different lanes.
So what is something that you notice from being who you are in this world that you're in? What is some advice that you can give somebody who's trying to follow your footsteps? So what would you tell them?
God, that's a loaded question. Well, be true to yourself, know your boundaries, know what you will not do, because they will try to get you to do anything for this fame. This is a greedy monster, and it wants everything from you. And it's a very selfish and territorial monster. And you've got to know what you will and will not do for it. So you got to really have some boundaries set in place. How bad do you want it, and are you willing to sell your soul or do something totally against who you are? I would tell anybody getting into this business, bring God with you, because he ain't there. You better bring God with you, honey, because it's a lot of stuff going on in this business. I have seen some things in my 26 years in this business, and I'm just grateful that God protected me in those moments. It's not all bad. It's a great ride. I've seen the world on somebody else's dime, and I didn't have to do anything for it other than be funny. Okay, exactly. So
a lot of people, they don't understand that.
No, they come in this game seeing all the glitz. They want it fast, and they see all the glitz and the glam and the accolades and the fame and the followers and the likes, and they see all this. They don't see all the work that goes into it and how you have to truly hold on to your soul and who you are with all your might. Because the higher you go, new levels, new devils, baby. Please believe it.
So let everybody know, because they think that it is easy. They see you on TV, and they really...
26 years, baby.
26 years. What I'm saying is you're constantly working.
Yeah, constantly working, yeah.
Even
when I'm not in front of somebody's screen.
It's still not chill time.
But you have to make it. You have to make it. That's the one thing it took me a long time to get to, is allowing myself to have me time. Because this business does make you feel like if you're not doing something 24/7, you're not being productive or you're undeserving of the blessing you've worked for. So you have to really get into a mindset that it is okay to rest. Even Jesus rested on Sunday.
Yes, he did.
Okay, so you've got to get into a point that you've got to have your me time. I actually said this in one of my posts that I do, your favorite auntie. And I do this thing called Your Favorite Auntie, where I give little pearls of wisdom. And I said, you know, you've got to take a moment to rest. All you're gonna do is burn out, and then when you finally get the blessing, you're too tired to enjoy it.
Wow, that's deep.
Take a break, an hour a day, 2 hours a day. I take breaks throughout the day. I've been on my computer all day doing taxes with my accountant. And every couple of hours, I was like, give me a break, and I'm, you know what?
A lot of people don't even know that they made it.
Because
they're still working
running, yeah.
They haven't sat back and said, you know what, I am going to enjoy this moment.
Yeah.
I made it.
Yeah. And sometimes it's not even, if you haven't even finished the task, just celebrate how far you've come.
Celebrate it.
Yeah.
Celebrate.
It took me a while to learn that, but now that I have, I appreciate each and every day more. Besides
yourself, who's your favorite comedian?
It's so hard, you know, like some of my favorite comedians, like people may not know, like our household names, like Rob Stapleton, talent, Tony Roberts. You know, I just love him. You know, these guys, I grew up with these guys in the game. They trained me.
Cat Williams?
I love Cat. He's Cat.
Real.
Cat is real. Cat is a brilliant observationist. Like when you listen to his jokes, I have to sometimes catch myself from listening to him from a comic ear, because he's so brilliant with his observations and how he relays what he's saying. I love Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, I have to say, inspired me to not always be trying to chase the big laugh and enjoy my moment of sometimes just dropping a little wisdom on you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I love this. You know, of course, my girls, Samora, Adele Givens, Monique, rest in peace, Simply Marvelous. I mean, so many incredible females that I looked up to coming in the game that I still, you know, talk to. Adele, and I just saw Samora a couple of weeks ago, and these are like my big sisters in the game. You know, I can call them anytime for advice or whatever. So I'm blessed to have that.
That's good. What about the new comedy, like Country Wayne, DC Young Fly?
Do your thing, baby. I mean, a lot of
internet success.
My thing is this, when you've secured your spot already, you're not threatened by the new ones. I feel my spot's secured. I'm still working in clubs, I'm still getting booked on tours, I'm still doing my own thing. I don't have to be on a show with 10 other people. I can sell out my own night by myself. So when you've secured your spot, you're not threatened. I'm like, Flash, you can't take my spot.
Yeah.
You know, this is my spot.
You're trying to help them out.
And I do. I've helped quite a few of them. Right. You know, back in the day, I used to live in the same building that DC Young Fly's best friend lived in. He ran jokes by me. You know, Desi Banks came to my home asking me about the game. You know, and I'm like, you know, they don't owe me nothing. You know, I'm happy to see them blossom and grow and, you know, kill the game. Because I'm over here in my lane doing me.
So T.I., you mentioned T.I.
Yeah, I pick with T.I. Bless his heart.
Hey, but T.I., you know what?
Yeah.
T.I. just got booed, right?
Yeah, can I say this? He got his cherry busted?
You can say that.
Okay, he got his cherry busted.
But you know what? I love the fact that he kept pushing through it.
You have to if you want this.
Because he realized that he is a star already. So a lot of comedians may think that it's easier for him, and that's why I think a lot of
Well, he does have an advantage.
Does have an advantage.
He has, I don't know if he's gotten Grammys, but he has a very illustrious music career.
Right, great.
So it's almost like,
He's
you
like
know,
a legend.
Right, it's like you came in the game with 1 million followers.
Right.
So you skipped over a lot of so-called steps a lot of us have to do to build that following. But what I think he's realizing now is that you have to learn this game just like all of us did. Yes, you came in with all the followers, and yes, they'll sell out your shows and come see you. But if you cannot deliver on that stage, they don't care. And I think he got shown that at the Barclays Center. They don't care. He
adjusted.
But I'm glad that a lot of comics are embracing him and trying to give him game, because that's like saying I can't go out tomorrow and be a rapper and claim to be I know everything and how to rap. No, I can't go in a doctor's office and claim I know how to operate on somebody. No, it's the same with comedy.
Right.
It's a process. This is a game. This is real out here. There's levels to this.
So, all right, Coke. At this point, we're gonna play this game.
Okay. Oh God.
It's called Good Move, Bad Move.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw something out there.
Okay.
You say, good move, bad move.
Okay.
Okay? Mm-hmm. Cat Williams for president.
Good move. Hell, we had Trump and he thinks better.
Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
Playing in the NBA.
At this point, anything's possible, so good move. Good move. Anything's possible at this point. We've been shown that.
Okay. Good move, bad move. Going on a date.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
The lady pays first. Good move, bad move.
It could be a good move.
Okay.
It could be a good move. It just depends on the situation, but it could be a good move.
Marrying somebody who believes in something totally different than what you believe in.
Bad move.
Okay.
Bad move. You ain't gotta go no further. Bad move. Bad move.
Okay.
You're gonna clash.
Marrying somebody that has 3 kids, but you have none.
That could be a good move.
Could be a good move?
Yeah, so many circumstances that could, what if you can't have kids, or maybe you want kids and you waited too late in life. So, good move.
Great. I'll let everybody know where they can find you at.
You guys can just Google me, Coca Brown. You can just Google right here. I failed newscaster class. Okay. Coca Brown. You can just Google me, Coca. That's COCOA. Please don't forget that A, honey. Okay, COCOA Brown. Just Google me. I am across all platforms of social media, as well as my website, CocaBrown4life.com.
911.
Yes.
I love 911. I love it. Please tell us that you're going to be in more seasons of 911. Or can you talk about it?
I don't know. I can honestly say I don't know.
Look, I don't know
I
who's
just talked to
over
my
it.
co-star the other day. Hi, Ryan. That plays Eddie.
Bring
but I don't know.
CoCoa back to 911. Bring him back.
Bring me back.
Oh, we boycotting. I'm just playing.
Oh, no.
We love 911. 911. I know you talked about P-Valley.
Yeah.
You talked about other shows that you're working on. Let us know what shows you're working on right now.
Gosh, well, I just finished a show that's going to be on Apple TV called Zoltar. That stars Chris Dowd, Gabrielle Dennis, Crystal Fox. Great cast. We just finished that. It was amazing. Of course, P-Valley. I'll be in the new season of P-Valley starting on June 3rd on
So what
Stars.
are you doing? Are you stripping?
I'm not stripping, but the stuff they had me in, I might as well have been.
We got to check that out, y'all.
Yeah, let me see. Fashion Nova would have been a step up. Okay. But, so they can catch me on that as well. They can catch me in the new season of Never Have I Ever on Netflix. That's the show executive produced by Mindy Kaling, and it's doing great in the numbers on Netflix. We are going into our 3rd season. You guys can catch that on Netflix. And I'm trying to think. Oh, they can catch me on a show on Tubi right now called Family Thanksgiving. That was my first executive producer credit. So I'm pretty excited about that. So check out that movie on Tubi. And let me see, what else I got going on? Lord.
You got a lot
going
on.
What else am I shooting? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Never have I ever. Yeah. There you go.
Who's your inspiration?
God, my kid.
Oh.
My kid. It's like I'm the first woman he's ever going to love. I create the blueprint of the kind of woman he'll choose. So every way I kind of move, I feel like he's watching me. And I got to set an example, So I would say my biggest inspiration right now is my kid.
I love it.
Yeah.
CoCoa Brown, legend, icon.
I ain't dead yet. Don't call me no legend.
Movie star. You still a legend to a lot of people. You don't have to be dead
Thank you.
To get your flowers.
I know. Thank you. Is it real? This is so nice. Oh, they real. Oh, you went all out for me, kid. Okay, that's cute. Thank you.
CoCoa Brown, everybody. Thank you
Thank
for
you
blessing my
me.
platform.
You're welcome.